gravitational force. Are you kidding me?
Yo, what's up? It's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building.
How's it going, everybody? Hey, I'm doing great. How are you, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Look at that. Working out, doing some kick
put
out.
the guns away, bro. Put the guns away. This is a family show. Oh, stop it. I cannot. And this episode of Kick to the Gut, by the way, as always, brought to you by Kick Out, the hottest new fitness workout design for pro wrestling fans. Hey, I'm a pro wrestling fan. Foreign in the building is a pro wrestling fan, and so are you. That's why you're listening to this podcast, right? And maybe you want to kickstart that exercise regime after the whole circuit breaker, phase 1, phase 2. You're like, tired sitting at home already. You know what I mean?
That was me all this while, man. But hey, you know what? You gotta get back in shape. You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right.
And why not do it while you enjoy some wrestling as well?
Yeah, wrestling inspired to say the least. But here's the thing. It's a 1 hour, 100% no contact. So you don't have to be worried. It's safe and it's extremely fun as well. It's, of course, by Grapple Max, Singapore's largest pro wrestling gym. Now, how about we knock off 20% of your first session. Okay, single session, usual price $35. If you use the promo code KTTG100. 100. Why 100, Foreign? Why 100?
Bro, we are on the road to our 100th episode. Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh, how many hours of wrestling have we talked about, bro?
Bro, next week, October 5th is our 2-year anniversary from when we first came on air.
What? Super Showdown, right?
Keeping track.
That was Super Showdown. Oh my god.
Yeah, Super Showdown. That was the first time I watched Undertaker live. He had that very, very forgettable match with Triple H.
Oh dear.
But I gotta see all the legends live, and that was when we first kicked off on this Kick to the Gut journey.
That's right.
And it's been almost 100 episodes of immersing ourselves in the wrestling community here in Singapore, getting to meet all the wrestlers, getting to know all the fans, and thank everyone for being with us on this journey, man. It's been awesome so far.
That's why the promo code is KTTG100. You can check out at grapplemax.punchpass.com. Remember, put in the promo code. It's for first-time Grapple Max customers only. Once again, it's Kick Out. In fact, you might just see Foreign at one of these Kick Out classes because he goes to the Saturday. You go to the Saturday one, right, bro?
Every 2 weeks. But when this episode comes out, which is on Saturday, we are a day late today. I'll be going to Kick Out in the afternoon. So you faster go click on the discount and straight away meet me right after.
That's why if they slots, because they keep these slots quite limited because they want 100% no contact. You know what I mean? So all right, go check out Kick Out. It is once again the hottest new fitness workout design for pro wrestling fans. And talking about pro wrestling, there's so much to talk about, bro. Okay, before we get into the pro wrestling, I'm a video game fan as well, right? And I know you are.
Yes, you are.
And I'm going to quickly plug my Twitch channel, Mr. Young98, MisterYoung 98. On Tuesdays, I play WWE Battlegrounds. And
usually I will, come in and out of your stream.
Yes.
Sometimes when I'm switch on Facebook, I'm like, hey, Young's online. Okay, let's see what he's watching. And I've been eyeing you playing Battlegrounds because you gotta decide whether it's worth the buying it, right? And that's what we're here to talk about.
And a lot of people, like people have come on the stream. People have slid into my DMs. Big shout out to The Shadow Lavin, who's also streaming, by the way. A lot of people doing the streaming thing now. But he's asking me like, hey, bro, is this WWE Battlegrounds worth buying? This is my answer after having played quite a few hours of it. And I know you are asking the same question also, Foreign. The answer is if $60, $70 is worth buying a mobile game, then yes. That's my answer. Okay?
Wow. Very
succinct
summary, brother.
You might think that's very harsh, depending on what you think of mobile games are. But the vibe I get is really it's not deep. They might boast, we got 70 characters. But you get 20 plus to start with. Everything else you have to unlock with wrestler bucks, which you can earn throughout the story mode. You can earn with daily challenges. Doesn't it sound like a mobile game already? Yeah?
Okay.
Or you can pay money. If you are the millionaire,
oh my God,
of money, then you can unlock everybody lah. It's fine.
I was just about to I was just about to ask that. You know, some games on like the PS4, you just have to keep spending stupid tokens. Especially 2K games. When I'm playing basketball, everything have to use real life money to withdraw from it. So is it like that? Are you spending actual money on it to be able to unlock it?
To be fair, you can grind. You can earn in-game bucks through challenges and stuff like that. But if you are lazy, if you have no time to grind, if you have like, a life, work, that kind of stuff, right? Then you might want to unlock the Undertaker outfit that looks so cool. You know what I mean? And you might just $5, $6, $10. And unfortunately, a lot of games have gone down that road just to monetize, make a little bit more money. But see, okay, I'm not so concerned about that because it's just a different outfit. I don't think that there's a character out there you can't earn. But the issue is, right, the game itself is not very deep. I know it's supposed to be pick up and play. If you button mash and you could get a good match out of it. And I will say this, it's fun with friends. But by yourself, if you're just grinding for wrestler bucks or in-game currency, it can get quite repetitive. And here's the thing. And I think I said this to you over WhatsApp as well. There are like 5 classes of characters, right? So there's all-rounder, there's brawler, powerhouse, technician, and high flyer. Everyone within the category essentially has the same move, except for their finishers. You think about that for a second.
Then what's the point of like getting categories for all of them? Doesn't make sense though.
Yeah.
Right?
So essentially like Rey Mysterio would have the same moves as who's another high flyer? I can't think.
Is there like a John Morrison? Or there's no John Morrison.
No, there's no John Morrison. But you know what I mean? It's like there are certain moves that just doesn't fit, even though they are in the same category, but it doesn't fit. And there's a lot of stuff in there too that doesn't make sense. For example, like why is Seth Rollins considered a legendary character, but Shawn Michaels is just epic? You know what I mean? So there are tiers.
So they have levels
of characters.
Like whether they are a legend.
Yeah.
Okay. Like whether they're OP, is it?
Yeah. This is like it's very much a mobile game thing. Like you have your commons, then your rare, then epic, then legendary. Legendary, of course, you have people like Hulk Hogan, Triple H is a legendary, but Shawn Michaels only epic, lower than Seth Rollins. What's up with that? That doesn't make sense.
In what world is Seth Rollins more legendary than Shawn Michaels? In fact, isn't Seth Rollins a Shawn Michaels 2.0?
Exactly, right? So as a hardcore wrestling fan, there are a lot of these inconsistencies that bug me. Now, I was talking about the story mode. Okay, so the story mode is quite cute if you like the whole like comic book aesthetic. The storyline is that Paul Heyman wants to start up a new brand of the WWE, and he's calling it Battlegrounds, where people can just fight and it's crazy, got havoc, you can throw people into crocodiles. Okay, whatever. He gets the blessing of Vince McMahon, and then Paul Heyman enlists the help of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, and you guide you don't play as named characters. They're all like randomly created, not randomly. They have a set of like 5 or 6 created characters for you to play with. So you get a story through the, different modes, and you fight all these WWE wrestlers. So I feel like
you create your own wrestlers. So it's not you choose one of the wrestlers.
No, there are created wrestlers for you. So the first segment you play as this guy called Bolo Reynolds. Then after that, you move on to some other dude whose name I forget. To be honest, all very forgettable characters to me. So they're forcing you to play all the different classes. But it's a created character for you.
Got it. So it's divided based on like whether they are high flyers or like brawlers, that kind of thing, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Here's my issue with it too. I feel like it's a cute storyline, but they don't really... The people who wrote it, I feel are like not hardcore WWE fans, because there are certain storyline things that happen that don't make sense. Like, there's one moment, I distinctly remember saying it on stream. Twitch, Mr. Young 98, cheap plug. Where Stone Cold says to Paul Heyman, "Hey, I trust you." I'm like, DTA, bro. Stone Cold's all about the DTA. Don't trust anybody, son. I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Stone Cold in the game says that.
Yeah, no, but he doesn't. In the comic book, he says, "I trust you, Paul." I'm like, since when does Stone Cold trust Paul? And then you have here's another one that will never happen in real life. There were people wanting to get an autograph from Apollo Crews and take pictures with him.
Walao.
Never happened
Hey,
in real life. Unrealistic game.
Who says that? Who says that ever happens?
Okay,
that you are
okay.
looking down on Apollo
I'm
Crews.
kidding. I'm joking. Oh, and also, a lot of the characters are not up to date. I feel like, and which is weird because, okay, fine. If you're 1 year late, I will forgive it because, it takes a long time to develop these games, right? But okay, when was the last time Baron Corbin was the angriest waiter in the world, Baron Corbin? Because that's what
it's been at least a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like WrestleMania 35, right?
Correct. So why isn't he King Corbin in this?
He's not King Corbin.
No,
he's not like a...
He's the
waiter
shirt-wearing Corbin. So,
okay.
If you're a hardcore fan, I would say give it a miss unless you are okay spending $60, $70 on a mobile-esque game that's on, a platform. Okay,
so one of the reasons that initially appealed me to this game, right? It reminded me of that old, I think WWE All-Stars, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be very over the top, supposed to be arcade, throwing into a freaking crocodile. I'm sure there's like rings collapsing, super powered moves, 10 feet high choke slams.
Yeah.
So like those like very over the top things are what appeals to like those kind of like arcade gamers.
Yeah.
And I can see myself playing that. So if the storyline is like you say, meh, I can probably look the other way as long as the actual gameplay when you're in the ring and playing the matches are super fun. So what about that?
Well, like I said, they are, and it's great to play with your friends because you will forget about all these inconsistencies and then you just smash buttons and laugh at each other, right? So this is a party game. But that being said, I don't think there's a lot of life to this game, lifespan. You're just essentially paying $60, $70 for a party game. You play with your friends, but when you're at home by yourself, it will become a mega grind. And it's like...
Got it.
And plus, you'll be seeing the same moves over and over again.
You're saying that this game is like just to have it on while your friends are over.
Yeah.
You'll probably get sick of it within like a month.
Yeah.
Bro,
within a week already, I'm kind of sick of it already. I just want to finish the story mode and then that's it. I'll probably move on to something else.
Do you download it or you bought the physical copy?
I'm all digital these days, bro.
Oh, is it? So it's like your PS4, a digital PS4? Oh, okay.
No such thing, bro. PS4 got this and got digital.
Okay, only PS5 have that, right?
Yes.
I remember when they say the console release, they only have that digital version. On a scale of like 0 being like, I'll play this game once, I'll never see it again. And like on like, what's like a game that you're fucking like always play? Is it Dark Souls?
Always. That's, well, it depends on what you like, lah. To be honest, like, okay, how about, let's put it this way, on a scale of complete waste of money to absolutely worth it, 100% bang for your buck, right? I would give it a 6. Barely pass. It's
like enough for a laugh and a hoot and like a drunk night with your friends.
Sure.
And you probably will forget it the next day. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly. There's not going to be any like memorable moment. You know what it is? It's essentially a Young Bucks match. There are a lot of fancy...
a lot of spots.
Yeah, spot. Well, I mean, this whole game is outrageous spot match. You throw people into crocodiles, throw them into like lava bursts and shit like that. But beyond that, it's like, because everything is
fair enough. Okay, but me as a very, very loyal in a toxic relationship with WWE, right? I will always support whatever they do.
Yeah.
Is it worth me waiting an extra year for them to come out with another sim game, another simulation like WWE 2K22? Is it worth it for me to like skip this, wait for it? But then like this kind of games will disappoint you as well, no matter what. The last game I enjoyed from WWE was 2K19.
I think,
and that was because like
if you enjoy if you enjoy the sim aspect of it, I think go back to WWE 2K19 and just give Battlegrounds a miss because it's a completely different audience that will be playing Battlegrounds. I feel like they're appealing to sort of the younger audience with less attention span that will just play and then have a bit of fun and then put it aside. Whereas, the sim games, you want to set up your universe, you want to build characters, give them unique movesets. I mean, after I see the Prata Toss RKO 10,000 times, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this move. And it's a common move. It's a common move in the game.
But if Randy Orton does it in real life though, That would be quite dope.
You know it's impossible. You know what I'm talking about right now? If you
RKO.
played the game, by the way, there's a move where you grab your opponent and you spin them like tossing prata and then RKO them. It's like many people have that move. So I'm like, then what makes the RKO special anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you mean. It's like basically seeing too many sports to the point that, you know, you just get seasoned to it, right? You just get...
Yeah. It's not even too many spots. It's too many of the same spots, you know? And one more thing. I think there's only one submission in the game. It's half crab. So essentially, you are young boys. The New Japan young boys, half crab.
The most basic finisher. Isn't that what we were taught when we did like that first wrestling training at Grapple Max?
So essentially, everybody is Lance Storm. Your finisher, the only submission you know is a goddamn half crab.
You know why?
Why?
They cannot do Chris Jericho's Walls of Jericho.
Because he's not
opposition already.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is Jake the Snake is in this game.
Really?
Yeah. Because this was all the contracts probably signed way before. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are in this game.
That's so random. So they're part of the club. So is the club in it? Like AJ Styles?
AJ Styles, yes. No, I don't, there's no factions, so it doesn't matter.
I think they already had this game in production as soon as 2K20 sucked. So they are like, okay, straight away start production on this new game.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. Okay, I just thought of it. Okay.
What?
Fine, I don't mind skipping this game. The game that I'm really curious to see or to have it in development is actually the AEW game.
Yes.
Because they've been whispering about it.
Yeah.
You know?
No news of that yet. Kenny Omega is and the wrestlers are part of it because a lot of them are gamers as well. So that should be a good sign that they're going to take the advice of the wrestler gamers, you know, to make a product.
And from what I know, their main referee Aubrey Edwards.
Yeah.
Before she was a wrestler, she was actually like a game designer. She worked in a gaming company. So
that's right.
She probably will have some context. Probably will have some great input. But I don't know whether they will come out earlier than 2K22 though. You never know, right?
Yeah, it depends. 2K22 needs a whole new engine rebuilt because the engine got broke when Ukes left.
I would rather they release it on the new console, on PS5, and really take advantage of it. I think it's great that they skipped this year, timing wise.
Yeah. Well, even if they skip one more year, that's fine. Just get it right, because 2K20 was broken, let's say, and you know what it is? Battlegrounds is like a cheap plastic band-aid. It's not even good quality band-aid for the horrible screw up that was 2K20.
It's like Mortal Kombat doing their what do you call it? What? Just the additional storyline that they gave, and it was
not even, dude. Even see with Mortal, I don't believe in that analogy because Mortal Kombat Aftermath was so good in itself that it was worth. I feel like it was worth buying extras. What was it? $20-$30 plus extra characters.
You paid for the extra, right?
I did. I paid for the DLC because it was so good. And it was worth it. In terms of replayability as well, you got proper story. After a while playing Battlegrounds, the comic book style is kind of cute. But after a while, I'm just skipping shit. Because I don't care about these interactions with Eric Rowan and Apollo Crews. The hell I give a shit about them. You know?
So are they main characters in the storyline, or are they just
no, they are. So every match. So okay, here's a problem with story mode too. It just feels like random 1-on-1, 2-on-2, random matches for you to play. And before certain matches, there will be a comic to set up the storyline. That's it. You know what it feels like? It feels like a few months ago Raw, where people are fighting for no reason.
It's just biding time. Well, basically, this is in effect WWE's admission that they are just buying time in between the consoles or in between the simulation games. So that's the kind of expectation, right?
To be fair, it's not WWE's fault. It's the game studio. So because I don't know if WWE has that much control. I'm sure they have some kind of control, but they're just promoting it,
Yeah. From what I understand,
From
what I understand, it is geared more towards casual fans, even non-wrestling fans. Someone who can look at this game. Oh, this is fun to play. Just play for fun, lor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess That's the expectation.
But I wouldn't even consider this like a Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter type game, or it wouldn't appeal to those players. It will appeal to more Smash Brothers. The better comparison would be Super Smash Bros. That sort of game.
Okay.
Have you ever played Super Smash Bros?
Yeah. It's just mindless fun, just button mashing.
Correct.
And like just watching like things explode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so.
Right.
There you go.
Wait,
That's Battlegrounds. Yeah.
Before we skip to the next subject, temperature, bro. I just realized as well.
Oh, you have to
report
report
temperature?
Of course, I have, bro. I'm very responsible every day sending in temperature.
Okay, come. You buy time as well on the show while I go take my temperature.
Okay, so essentially I have to solo host this show, right? So talking about WWE Battlegrounds, by the way, get 2 minutes. You're going to make me sit here in front of the camera and talk for 2 minutes. Okay, so check out my game streams, all right, on Facebook and on Twitch, Mr. Young98. So throw in a cheap plug once again there if you like to watch gaming videos.
I'm being a very responsible employee, okay?
Yeah, well, Foreign takes his temperature. It's getting hot in here. Is it hot? You need to tell everybody your temperature now. Since you're doing it live on camera.
No live, So if I really cannot 37.5, you guys did a world exclusive.
Oh shit, world
36. 36.2. I'm good. I'm alive.
Bro, you ice cold, bro. You're ice cold. Okay, go and fill in your form and
smooth.
While we talk about what is upcoming. Okay, so in just a bit, we are going to talk about some of the biggest topics, including Retribution. Yes, finally, we have a mini reveal, but I feel like not really a reveal. We'll get to that in just a bit. Also, what happened on AEW Dynamite, what happened on NXT, some interesting things, all leading up to Clash of Champions, which is this weekend. And I didn't even realize this, but one more week after that is NXT TakeOver 31. So it's going to be another.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And then
is it a team NXT?
No, it's just NXT
like
TakeOver 31. So there is no specific theme to it yet. But
they're lazy to call it anything already.
I think they realize they've been overdoing it. In your house, in your face, raw, this shit, that shit. Anyway, yes, all that we're going to talk about in just a little while. All right. In the meantime, of course, yes, while Foreign is furiously typing in his temperature right
yes,
now.
I'm sorry, guys. Let's to be done.
Yes, let's jump back to this week's Raw, and of course, maybe we'll just go through some of the not so main event stuff that happened. Kevin Owens had Shane McMahon on the KO show to quote unquote promote Dabaketo. Okay. What do you think of Dabaketo showing up finally on main Raw? Was it a wasted thing or?
Okay, like
a little
first of
FaceTime
all,
is good.
Dabaketo is an impressive human specimen, as JR would say it, right?
Yeah.
I love the fact that he has like a promoter. I like this kind of character that Shane is playing. Like I'm like the promoter. I'm gonna try to hype up like all these wrestlers. They're like for hire, like it's like an agent almost,
Yep.
And the whole point of Raw Underground for it to succeed, I feel that is if they are building new stars. So in a way, the Ataru Ruases of this world, like the Dabaketo, like the exposure is always great. But right now, and of course, you're gonna talk about the actual match that he had with Braun Strowman. The initial impression that was being made of him being on the show, getting slapped by Kevin Owens, I think all that went down really, really well.
Yeah, sure.
In my opinion,
The Kevin Owens stuff, I think we can leave it to Kevin Owens to do. You can always expect something interesting. But exactly what you
give me a minute. I need to charge my laptop because it just died, so I can't put in my temperature. Continue talking, guys.
Oh
live
my gosh! Live on show, Foreign with his pillows and everything can see. Oh my god! So anyway, yes, talking about this whole situation with Raw Underground, right? Okay, I feel like I need to wait for Foreign to come back before we can discuss this because I also want to get his thoughts about it as well. But of course, if you want to, let us know what you feel about these things. And we put all these polls up on our Instagram page as well. You can always slide into our DMs at Kick to the Gut on Facebook, at Kick to the Gut. And hey, follow us on YouTube also. That's where we put this video on together with Facebook. Also, basically everything Kick to the Gut related, you can find on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. But I think we reply on Instagram the quickest because, Foreign is in the building, on the phone, ready to answer your DMs.
Getting work done.
That's right. That's right. So
yes.
How's everything?
My unofficial job.
How's everything?
Okay, PM
with your laptop.
PM submitted. Why?
Nice.
Yo. Okay, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Let's just stop wrestling right now. Okay, back to Raw.
Okay, since we are on the topic of Raw Underground, I think let's get to it. It's interesting you brought the Ataru Huas thing in, like giving them a showcase, right? Ataru Huas fought Dolph Ziggler and lost. Okay? So, and then, Daba Kato versus Braun Strowman. He lost. So...
let's just talk about, first of all, I think Dolph Ziggler looks really, really good in the Raw Underground environment.
Sure.
We know him to be an amateur wrestler back in his high school days, but he has never really had a chance to showcase that amateur wrestling quality like in his normal matches, Great seller, know how to do all this high impact stuff, very athletic, yes. But like ground, like mat game, we haven't really seen that style from him,
Sure.
So I think it's like, if he brings it back in his like normal matches, I think it's like a cool wrinkle in his arsenal, or just an additional thing that he adds lah. And for some reason he feels more legitimate in Raw Underground. Don't you think? Like I don't think he'll get squashed in Raw Underground.
Right, but
he's a very smart fighter.
But isn't the point of this whole thing to build new stars? Like, so essentially you're feeding all these Raw Underground guys to the main roster guys to show, they haven't had graduated, or I don't know what they're trying to do here. You know what I mean? I would rather see a big shock win.
Yeah, I would feel comfortable if it not only builds new stars, but rehabilitates old stars.
Okay.
The ones who have lost their luster in a way. So
would you say that Dolph has been rehabbed? I wouldn't. Because still, to me, there's no goal here. It's not like he's winning some sort of a championship. He's just fighting random jobber. Because let's face it, nobody knows who Arturo Huas is or what his background is. Even if they throw in a little line here or there, it gets missed. And you know what I mean? Nobody on Raw knows who Arturo... What? I can't even pronounce his name. Arturo Huas is.
How can you not know about him, bro?
No, I know. I know.
Black
because
belt. Karate,
I know.
Black belt.
I know. Because I watch NXT, but not a lot of people watch NXT. And those promos you are talking about, right, happened in the internet era of NXT, not even the USA era of NXT. So nobody knows who he is.
Black belt. Okay. Fair enough. The thing is, Dolph Ziggler, after his feud with Drew, I expected him to just die off, I just expected him to like become a jobber again. And in a way, I was surprised that he kind of landed on his feet at Raw Underground. So at least there is like a spot for him. And we've talked about this week after week after week. It needs to have some sort of end game.
Yes.
Raw Underground needs to have some sort of end game. Because if you remember that week when both Raw Underground and Retribution debuted at that exact same week, Retribution has already finally had some sort of development. So Raw Underground needs to like faster, follow up, see what's going to happen after this.
Exactly.
It's been, I think, 2 months at least, right?
Well, wasn't the whole end game to promote Daba Kato? And then you go in there and have Braun Strowman knock him the F out. KTFO. Okay. See, I don't expect them to put over Daba Kato big by beating Braun Strowman, because that would be a huge disservice to Braun Strowman. I was expecting some sort of massive schmoz, the whole ring collapse. They just brawl all over the place until there was no ending. I would have much preferred that. And if
like King Kong and Godzilla lah.
Yeah.
King Kong and Godzilla.
Like nobody wins, but everything is destroyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm not opposed to that. I think it would be quite dope.
Yeah, but they kind of shat the bed already, didn't they? By having Braun Strowman knock him the hell out. And the match was boring. It was two lumbering monsters. And they had to cut a lot because, they can't swing 100%, right? This is not a real heavyweight fight because that if they swing 100%, they will actually knock each other out. So there's that balance. So it just became this slow, at least, okay, with the Dolph versus Huas one, you know, they were moving quite fast. There was a lot of energy to that match because they were lighter, faster guys, speedier guys, right? With this one, it was just, wow, it was so to me, it was painful. It was very painful. And
okay, who's the better wrestler? Let me think. Daba Keto or Great Khali?
Of course, Daba Keto lah. Khali essentially was like, chop, that's his only move. The chop. He's just a big guy. You know, like Great Khali, Giant Gonzalez, they were just there because they are huge. They are freaks, right? They look impressive, but they can't move. Daba Keto looks like he can go. The problem is, well, he was going in something that wasn't really designed to showcase.
Okay, just a couple of observations. Like, what I didn't like from the match, right, is the ending. Like, it was just like a UFC like knockout from Braun, and then he just drops him dead and he's out. Like, I think that's just the worst way to destroy someone's credibility. Yeah. You know how much it sucks when you get knocked out in UFC, and for it to happen in like a so-called stage fight, that just says a lot about your character, right?
Correct. So essentially, like I said, they just shat the bed with Daba Keto. They've been building him. All of a sudden, he comes up, pop, dies in like a few minutes. And like I said, the match itself wasn't entertaining. I know that they are going for that UFC whole flash knockout. You never know what could happen sort of a deal. But Daba Keto is not a big enough name to pull that off yet. It's not like, like you have, Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. Frank Mir was the top of the game when he was, heavyweight champion. And Brock Lesnar, obviously, with his WWE name. And then one knocks the other out within a few minutes. Like, it's a shocker. It's not. It just doesn't work.
And at the end of the day, like, we've been talking about this as well. Like, it needs to have some sort of like title, or it needs to have some sort of like accolade for winning Raw Underground, or like being the last man standing. Because as of now, it's like, who wants to fight?
Hold on. Did you just say accolade? You mean game over? Because that's what it's called now in AEW, right? JR actually said the accolade, and then I think it was Excalibur who corrected him and said, no, that's the game over. Miro's finisher.
Is it like some sort of gaming homage because he's like a COD player or some shit?
Yeah, because he's like he's a streamer on Twitch also. So there's a gaming homage there. But it was like, anyway, sorry, back to Raw. Let's wrap up Raw Underground. So far, it's been nah for me. No. I'm not feeling it.
It started off very brightly, but now it's in this very weird in-between where like you are losing your audience fast.
You know why?
Show us your cuts.
You know why it started out right? We've talked about this before.
The girls. The girls.
Not the girls. It's the Hurt Business.
Hurt Business. I know.
Yes. They brought the whole Def Jam vibe to it and made it cool. MVP. He's resurrected the career of Bobby Lashley, of Shelton Benjamin, and now Cedric Alexander. Like, I think we can all agree that the Hurt Business is best for business right now. Yeah.
Okay. The two most over people in wrestling on Raw, right? And it's so unexpected. I think one would be Randy Orton. Secondly would be MVP.
MVP. And you know what the funny thing about the Hurt Business is now? They have two storylines going on. Do you realize this? And in each storyline, they are different. They are babyface and heel. So versus Apollo Crews and Ricochet, they are heels, right? Because Cedric Alexander turned, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be honest, when Apollo came out, or Ricochet, was it Ricochet who came out? I can't remember. They had that promo back and forth. I'm like, oh my God, Ricochet is getting destroyed by the Hurt Business in terms of promo. Yeah. You cannot, Hurt Business just sound cool, right? But against Retribution, Hurt Business are the faces. So they're like double roles, yeah?
Is it like they do it on purpose, or is it because they just done such a shitty job of like building up other people and they just have to keep using a faction that is over? Because to me, right, bro, Hurt Business getting over doesn't feel like it's the WWE doing that job. It just feels that it's just been carried by MVP, and MVP has somehow willed it into something fucking cool.
Actually, you are probably right, They probably thought, okay, let's just put them together in a faction. We'll see where this goes. Probably had no like main event push or any big push plan. And then they realized, holy shit, hold on, I'm in Hurt Business. Maybe their t-shirts are selling fast. But they realized they got some gold here in the gold standard Shelton Benjamin. I love Shelton Benjamin, man.
for me, I'm a huge fan of MVP because, right, if he talks, right, it's really main event level kind of like business, you know. Like I feel that he can sell any event. He can be like Paul Heyman in a way that, in his own, you know, ghetto way, like he can build and promote matches and make you hyped to watch. Like I was hyped to watch Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, you know, at that point in time during their main event. Yeah, and why I appreciated Raw Underground at the beginning was when after they lost that title and Lashley lost his championship as well. Remember? Then straight away they kind of got back on their feet. Immediately they bounced back because by the end of the night they were ruling the first show of Raw Underground. Like, oh, this is gonna be exciting. They're gonna be like underboss at Raw. Okay. So what do you think about that? What do you think about them now? Basically running the main show. It's as if like WWE is like, okay, maybe if we would have wanted them to go to the Raw Underground and be like in charge of that, but maybe they are needed more on the main show because there's nothing interesting on the main show to hold their attention.
I wonder if they realize, okay, Hurt Business is all of a sudden becoming a hot faction. Let them feud with the new faction, which is Retribution. And we will get to that in just a bit, but I want to touch on something. I just drew a connection. You're talking about MVP. Would you consider his run previously upper mid-card or mid-card, right?
I would say mid-card, yeah.
Mid-card. Now, draw a parallel to another mid-carder that's doing business on AEW, Matt Hardy. I'm sorry, but did you see Matt Hardy's promo on AEW Dynamite?
Yeah, these past weeks, right?
It was horrible. It was so bad. He screwed up his lines, which is fine. It happens, but for whatever reason, he couldn't recover. And with Private Party, he's trying to bring up those guys. It just didn't work. He just doesn't have that same... And the whole role of Matt Hardy, same as MVP, is to come in and bring up the newer guys, right? Dude, Matt Hardy is not doing it for me. As much as I am a huge fan, maybe he needs to bring back the broken character because him as Matt Hardy just doesn't scream upper mid-card.
Money.
It screams lower mid-card.
I can't see... I guess you're comparing the trajectories of like MVP and Matt Hardy because they had that feud, right, back in 2007.
And they're sort of back in their respective companies at that level of, hey, I'm here to put over other people as the veteran, right?
Yeah. I mean, one quick word on Matt Hardy because I'm sure we're going to talk about this later. But you see, what revitalized Matt Hardy's career wasn't Matt Hardy being Matt Hardy. It was the broken gimmick.
Yes.
Because before that, Matt Hardy was fading into obscurity. He's going to be classified as obsolete.
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 But he made himself relevant with the delete and the obsolete. But then now, curiously, he's decided, no, I'm just going to be myself. And it's just killing him.
Yeah, the worst part is, right, this is his own creative, you know. It's like no one is telling him to like lose the broken gimmick and all that. I think everyone loved the fact that he's broken. So he himself wanted to get out of it, like be his own man. Fine. If there's a compelling story, fine. If there is like some sort of like, he is compelling as a person on his own. Now, as a mentor, he just doesn't cut it for me. Even last time, right, I never thought of him as like he mentors Jeff because he always had this like level of pettiness. Like, you know, if you are like the main guy or like the mature, coach or whatever it is, you must see them and like, okay, they are a bit sort of like a stable character, like very much, like got wisdom with them. Like MVP feels like he got like a bit of like, I've been through life, I've been through all the hard knocks. I'm going to coach you out of this shit, Matt Hardy is like, I will be as destructive as you. I haven't figured my shit out. So
exactly.
Like,
I feel bad. I feel bad because it's just not working, and I don't know. Maybe Chris Jericho needs to talk to him or something. But anyway, that's AEW.
No,
in a bit.
No, but the thing I don't understand is he really said that he's going to take some time away to recover, and then when he comes back, he challenges for the title. So why did he come back after like 2 weeks?
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
To be a mouthpiece. I guess maybe he meant he's not going to wrestle. He's just going to be a mouthpiece, but he's not functioning as a effective mouthpiece, not for Private Party. And Private Party were on the mic as well. They need a lot more work on the mic. Maybe have them promo on Dark or something because it did not fly. Anyway, let's get back to Raw. Asuka beat Peyton Royce. Apparently, Billie Kay is now Peyton Royce's manager because she was in her corner. They broke up and then what's going on?
They are in a toxic relationship.
Lana and Natalia are still doing their thing. They lost to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, of course.
Of course. Good. Move on.
Zelina Vega beat Mickie James.
Here's the problem. I have a bone to I have a bone to pick on this.
Well, hold on. You have a bone because you watched the Mickie James versus Trish Stratus timeline special, or?
Oh, that was awesome, by the way.
That is a different bone. Okay. So, you know what went through my mind when I was watching that? Was it Timeline or something?
I think it's WWE Timeline. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, great production, by the way. It was basically the feud between Mickie James and Trish Stratus, one of my favorite feuds. But my God, were their boobs out like 90% of the time. I was like, what? It was like that era, we will never see it again. But really, all their outfits were way too tight. I was like, oh my God, I don't remember any of this.
Trish Stratus, how I remember her back in Attitude Era is like, I feel like, all these thoughts that I had of her, I feel so bad seeing her now as a mother.
Yeah.
I had all these thoughts about you back in the day.
But it really highlights how much they sexualized their female performers back in those days. But not just Trish, Mickie James also, Ashley Mazzaro, who was in there because she was part of the storyline, and all of them were wearing tops that were like squeezing their chest out. Like, I was like, oh my God, I never realized this until until today. Like, you're like, wow, okay. So
like if you here's the thing that I feel bad because like we can look at all these feuds with nostalgia because we remember that it was great, right? It was like classics almost. In 20 years' time, who is gonna remember Hurt Business versus Retribution? Or like Mickie James versus Zelina Vega? Like, what I'm trying to say is like this current generation, the feuds are all fucking forgettable.
Yeah.
There's no classics in the making.
Yeah.
They have to somehow like dress it up and make it nice because we don't see the value in it.
Maybe this worked because they were willing to push the boundaries with this whole stalker / could they do a stalker / lesbian angle today?
Lesbian?
Maybe not, No.
I mean, but if they want to, I can give a couple of participants that I will pitch for. Anyway.
Yes. So anyway, yes.
You're thinking.
Back to Zelina.
The bone of contention.
Bone.
Yes, the bone that I wanted to pick was, it's such a disservice to Mickie James. How she's been treated the last 2-3 weeks of Raw, man. Like, fuck, man. Like, okay, Zelina Vega, hey, great talent. She's young. This is a great opportunity for her at Night of Champions. Couldn't they just save this feud for later and give Mickie James that pay-per-view title match with Asuka?
Yep. Yeah.
She just returned after a year out of injury and she's in great shape. She's in her 40s. So that means her timeline is like getting smaller. That window of opportunity for her to win the title one more time is getting smaller. She's going to be irrelevant very, very soon. In the next 3 years, probably Mickie James won't be wrestling again. Zelina Vega will be wrestling. So why not give the opportunity to, get some nostalgia out of the way with Mickie and Asuka?
I feel like, especially with this timeline special that just came out, right now would be, like you say, the perfect time to give her that mini run. Like, you could even have it such that maybe she needs to lose a few more matches. And if they were smart enough, I don't think they are, to build a storyline around that. Like, making the whole one last run at the title sort of storyline, We could even have Trish come out and support her.
Wouldn't that have made like the Raw division, like the women's division, even more compelling?
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't? Okay, bro. Everyone I know who's a wrestling fan loves Mickie James.
Yeah.
Or can, how to say, like, knows about her legacy.
Yeah.
Has so much respect for her, what she's done in the business. We all don't deny that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's such an easy story to tell. You guys, you have a veteran there waiting for a chance at one last shot at the title. It's as if WWE Network already knows, like, I think they probably scheduled this to come out like right after she returned.
Yeah.
Why not capitalize on that,
I feel like she's fallen into that AJ Styles, that Cesaro, that, that role of, I'm there to put over the younger talent. If I get a run, great. If not, then it's not going to happen, though. So.
Okay, but why, right? Okay, I don't want... I don't want to shit on like one of my favorite wrestlers, Randy Orton.
Okay.
But why does someone like Randy Orton, he's technically he's in a veteran role, but he's always getting pushed to the moon. He's always like there, you know.
Okay,
What makes him different than the rest of these veterans?
Let me argue for Randy Orton because he's putting out great content and being a great heel, being a great compelling character. To be fair, has Mickie James been a compelling character since her return? I don't think so.
But you know, I would argue that is not her fault. That is WWE telling her to be that way. Because I know Mickie James. I've seen her interview. She is fucking feisty, man.
Yeah.
And she's a MILF. Like,
okay, well, I mean, that aside, you know, like, I don't know. Given the mic time, I feel like she hasn't really sort of, you know, pushed the needle, as it were. She's not making head waves. And at the end of the day, it's who's popular, right? Like Hurt Business, MVP is doing great work, and then all of a sudden he's getting a mega push. So it's not so, and as much as we want to say, oh, WWE doesn't listen to its fans, I think they do, in a way, you know, in their own way. Only when it comes to certain people, Roman Reigns, that they're like, we're going to push this guy down your throats. And even now, they are doing it in a way where, it works suddenly. And we'll get to that in just a bit.
Okay, so let's talk about Zelina Vega then. What are her chances with the title? What do you see in terms of her ceiling, her potential?
I think not yet. I think she needs more time, especially in the ring as well. And she's in there with the likes of Asuka, essentially to give her a masterclass and to put her, maybe put her over a little bit to make her seem like a threat. Because now I don't view her as a threat at all. She's not even the mid-card middle boss. She's like a, random NPC, if we are going to use gaming terms.
Okay, here's me speaking for Zelina Vega. I like the potential of her character as someone who is feisty, someone who is conniving. Yep. She feels like those kind of like girl who kind of knows what's going on. She knows how to manipulate the situation. Reminds me of Sable in a way. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting comparison. But in terms of why I say she's like Sable, right? I'm not talking about like sex appeal and all that. I mean that sex appeal is subjective. What I'm talking about is like, remember Sable when she came back to WWE in 2003? And she's like this she's like this temptress, but she seems to be super manipulative. She's like, getting in on Stephanie McMahon, like playing mind games with Story Wilson. Yeah. I feel that Zelina Vega can be someone like that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's also fantasy booking because right now except for the poisoning part, we haven't really seen her connive. She's just been pissed off at Andrade and Angel Garza, which we will talk about in a bit too. But yeah, I know what you're saying, and she could pull that role off. Are they going to script her that way, though? That's the question. Or is she just going to be fiery Zelina Vega and that's it?
Do you read there's this dirt sheet that apparently Vince McMahon is really high up on Zelina Vega because she reminds him of Stephanie McMahon.
What? That's weird.
Legit. Yeah. As in the sense that her character, her feistiness, her larger than life, even though she's small. Yeah, that reminds him of Stephanie McMahon.
Well, if Asuka gets food poisoning at Clash of Champions, then maybe that could be the start of that thing. And then it could be a case of every time she has a match, her opponent always got something wrong on. Like got food poisoning, lost their luggage, slipped on the banana peel or some shit. And then they always go, is it Zelina? It could be a very telenovela treatment. I think that'll be funny as hell.
Okay, like I really, really want her to like showcase that craftiness, that like, okay, I have all these mind games I can play. She can pull it off, man. Yeah, she got the personality. Yeah. She got the mic skills.
The mics, yes, to pull it off and try to pretend like she didn't do it, but we all know she did it, sort of a shit thing. So and then finally the faces will, realize it's her and then take their revenge, blah, blah, blah. It'll be good storytelling, but will it happen? We don't know. But right now, though, Zelina Vega versus Asuka, I don't think it's a time yet. She can pull some mind game. I don't think Asuka should be losing the Raw title.
It will be a throwaway match. But, right, bro, speaking of telenovelas, right, you know where I'm going on with this? Rey Mysterio,
yes,
the daughter,
Aliyah,
telenovela also.
Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy. Okay. I see. I kind of, you know what, bro? See, you're reacting like it's a negative thing. I actually like it. I enjoy it. After the whole Aliyah showing concern to Buddy Murphy, I'm like, I feel like they are going, okay, this is where I think this is going. Buddy Murphy is going to be like in love with Aaliyah, or she's, he's going to turn. Huh?
Is she of age though? She's of age, right? I feel weird.
I think she's 19, and Buddy Murphy is only like 20 something, right? So technically, it's not.
He's
weird.
31.
He's 31. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe it is weird. Anyway,
yes.
No lah. As long as she's 19 or 20, I think it's okay. I think we'll have to Google that. But anyway,
no, she's 19. Okay, I get it. Okay, they want to play up some romance angle. It's fine. I can see it going that way. That could be his in terms of like manipulating the Mysterio family, dividing them. That would be very interesting if they can play that kind of mind game. But what I don't like is, why are they rehashing an angle from 15 years ago and saying, Aaliyah, Mysterio is not your father.
You know what?
I'm your puppy.
I loved it because it's a throwback. It's for us old school fans. It's the throwback to the whole Eddie Guerrero thing.
Yeah, it's a nod lah. It's a nod.
Yeah, I actually really loved it when he did it. And I wasn't talking about Dominic. I was talking about Aaliyah. Then I was like, it's one of those type of moments. I love this style of sordid shit, right? But okay.
Yeah, this telenovela shit.
Yeah, where I see this going is because like Seth beat up Buddy Murphy bad, so but Murphy is going to quote unquote maybe fall for Aaliyah, try to make up for all the bad things that has happened to the Mysterio family, and then all of a sudden they are dating, right? And then maybe they could turn Buddy. And hear me out on this, Buddy. I should stop calling him Buddy. He's Murphy and Dominic tag team. And let this go for a few months. Let them build up a tag team chemistry, because it's like brother and
brother-in-law.
brother and brother. Build that connection. Then, only after many months, then he turns, and then they reveal, this was the plan all along, to make her fall in love with Buddy, to break her heart, and blah, 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 It was me all along, Austin. It was me.
You're watching too much young adult fiction novels. Fucking Twilight shit, bro.
That's the shit. I feel like, okay, and this serves many purposes as well. Imagine Dominic, who's quite green still, right? But he is a growing baby face. And then Buddy Murphy, he's already sort of a quote-unquote seasoned veteran in that sense.
That's true.
And he can carry him through matches.
Yeah.
And they can gain a lot of wins.
I like that, but there's only one issue right now.
What's that?
Where do you put Humberto Carrillo?
Maybe. Okay. I'm putting on my telenovela cap here, or maybe Channel 8 drama cap. Maybe love triangle, bro. Love. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, check this out. Humberto Carrillo is the boy that Rey Mysterio is trying to push to his daughter. You know what I mean? Like, hey.
He's like why not take Humberto Carrillo?
Yeah, he's so boy. He's such and this will also help Humberto Carrillo's career. Right, but
oh my god, okay, you just opened the possibilities. Okay, continue.
WWE, please listen to this podcast. Okay. So, like, because Humberto Carrillo has already has that connection with Rey Mysterio, like he's looked up to him, and then Rey could be like, the caring father is like, hey, I got a boy for you here. He's so nice. But then, and even sets them up on the date, and they could film the date, but they literally have zero chemistry, right? And then they can have a little bit of fun with that. And then, like, she keeps getting a text from somebody else. And then it's like, she looks distracted. And then we find out the texts were from Murphy.
Buddy Murphy. Okay. So, okay, let me try to recap this. Yeah. So, Humberto Carrillo is like a 99 quai boy that the father approves of. Yes. They want to push to the daughter. Yeah. Her daughter likes a bit of danger. She likes a bit of, like, naughtiness. Yes. She wants the bad boy.
And, of course, when Rey finally realizes that she's been texting Murphy, he's like, what the hell, man? Don't you remember what he did to the family? And then it could be like a Romeo and Juliet sort of a storyline. Bro!
Okay, as much as I love this angle. I agree, this will make the mid-card so much more exciting.
Yes!
It's a throwback to, Attitude Era days where like got this stupid love triangle. You fight. Okay, that's all dope. Yeah. But there's one big problem.
Why?
And in a way that, I kind of feel bad because it gives all this spotlight to all these great talents, right?
Yeah.
Except Dominic. Normally, it will be a bystander in this.
It's
He'll be
okay.
like, yeah, my sister. It's all about my sister. You know what I mean?
No, but you see, he because without the whole family angle, what is he? He's just a fresh face. He would without the whole angle, he would fall into the Humberto Carrillo role where he's just kind of there, you know. So I feel like
I really like your initial angle. I mean, in terms of Buddy being part of like the family, like doing a tag team, and then eventually, like after 5 or 6 months, it's been revealed all along that he's just trying to get in the good graces so that he can screw him at the end.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what? It reminds me of Randy Orton being part of the Wyatt family.
Oh, okay, yeah,
If
sure.
you can't beat them, join them. When the time is right, screw them.
Yeah. Dude, this
I love that storyline, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dude, WWE needs to make this happen, man. You can build Humberto Carrillo. Hey, you never know. You could turn Humberto Carrillo heel after this. If he's been rejected so many times by Aaliyah, he could all of a sudden snap and go heel and then face off against Buddy Murphy, Aaliyah on a pole match. No, I'm kidding. Aaliyah in a shark cage match. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
You know what I mean? They could face off and then, okay, this all hinges on one thing though. Can Aaliyah act or not?
I know it. I wanted to say that. Like, all of this will be compelling if Aaliyah is like that. How to say that gem that everyone is chasing. You know Troy. You know Helen of Troy. If she was Helen of Troy, the men will go to wars for her. Yeah. But if she looks like Diane Kruger and acts like Diane Kruger, then can lah.
Yeah. No,
so far,
to be honest, okay. I know her acting was a bit like, but to be fair, it only lends like realism to it. She's not supposed to be an actress. She's not supposed to be a trained WWE wrestler. You know, to go back to this conversation we had with, I can't remember who, but it's like sometimes when guests come on the show and they take bumps weird, you're like, okay, you can forgive that. It makes it even more real because it's not smooth. They are not trained to take a bump. You know what I mean? So it looks more painful. It's like this is my excuse for my spear at the Grapple Max event. Taking it wrong.
We need a round 2 on that. But anyway, okay. If Aaliyah can be more like Miss Elizabeth, and this is a very old school reference, but she can be like Miss Elizabeth. Like she's just have to play a bit of a throwback, play like the women in peril, like the damsel in distress, because she can't sell on sex appeal right now because she's too young. Like as much as she's very beautiful, like I cannot think of her that way.
No, yeah.
But if she can play like this, like very lovely, like younger daughter, that very sweet.
You know who she
sayang her.
Yeah, you know who she reminds me of now?
Who?
A young Stephanie McMahon. Very young, very sweet, innocent.
Oh, before she kena kidnapped by Undertaker.
Yeah, before she got kidnapped and then it was me all along, Austin. It was me.
Okay, you're right. Because Stephanie, like pre-Triple H, test days, she's very sweet, young and innocent. And then Stephanie in 2002, sexy, sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was different.
Sexual awakening already.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I get what you mean. Like, Aaliyah is gorgeous. Like, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And like, I feel that she will definitely win a lot of men's hearts in a way.
Bro.
Like, in terms of how she is.
Yeah.
But you gotta play to her strengths. You gotta play to her sweetness right now.
Exactly. That's why the whole Murphy thing works. The whole Humberto Carrillo works. One boy, one sweet girl. I mean, they look perfect together. Now that I put their mental images together, I'm like, as someone who's older, I'm be like, you two should date. You're so cute together. That's exactly what needs to happen. And then the younger kids would relate too, because the younger kids would be like, oh my God, I don't believe the father is pushing this guy. He's not even that cute, or I don't like him because he's not my type. Dude, this is something we've all been through. We've all heard of friends go through. This is very relatable.
But Buddy Murphy is like that Sons of Anarchy bad boy.
Yes.
Fucking like Australian.
Yeah.
Go surfing. He's like that. He's the exotic dude. Like, I think if I'm a girl, right, put in a girl's point of view, they will find him like, damn, he's hot.
He's the bad boy who has been beaten down by, his, like he's not a bad guy. He was just led down a bad path by a bad person. Sort of a bad boy.
Then got a redemption story.
Redemption. And then the twist at the end was where he goes, it was me all along. And this time it's Seth.
And you know what? You know why Buddy Murphy has a lot of street cred with WWE fans, wrestling fans in general?
Alexa Bliss?
He used to be engaged with Alexa Bliss, yes. So they're like, dope, this dude, he gets all the chicks, but he doesn't even need it, but he gets it. You know what I mean? Like, he got the street cred. Wow.
Bro, we are way too invested in this storyline. They better make it happen.
I think everyone listening to this podcast will be invested in it because we just sold the shit out of this storyline.
Yeah,
you're like Vince and I'm like Russo, bro.
Bro, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna shit the bed with this. All of a sudden, it's over in 2 weeks or some nonsense.
You know what? I'm just gonna keep this podcast as a memory because this will be our way of booking it, and we'll probably have. Fuck, we should be the new Adam from What Culture. Fucking put it on YouTube. How we should book the earlier storyline.
Yes. Damn. Okay, I think we spent a lot of time on this. Let's move on to the. Okay, Angel Garza, Andrade. Now that Zelina Vega has left them, all of a sudden they're working together. So they're trying to sell this whole angle where Zelina was the distraction all along, whatever. That's cool. They're going to move on. We'll talk about Clash of Champions in a bit. But, okay, Retribution. Let's talk about them now. The big storyline.
Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah, past few weeks, they were hooded. This whole time, you didn't know who they were. Now, okay, you know who they are because their masks are quite, they are straight up doing Mortal Kombat cosplay right now. I know
Bane and Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
And Predator.
Cabal. All the jokes are there. Slipknot. You quite like this look for them.
I do. Especially Dio Medin. Like, to me, the one that looks most menacing is Dio Medin. Because he looks like a freaking predator. Yeah, and his eyes, I don't know, man. Like, the mask really levels it up. Okay, and then here's a couple of things I never really noticed about the wrestlers before they became these guys. Dijakovic has such a great villain voice, bro. Yeah, such a menacing voice. Was he like that in NXT?
No,
I remember.
He was very normal, He would yell sometimes, but he was a very normal sort of speaking
Can
character.
you agree? Okay, can you agree that we know that Dominic Dijakovic can put on great matches, right? As evidenced by his matches with Keith Lee.
Yep.
But can you agree this makes him look so much cooler and feel so much more badass than just him, bland guy wearing trunks and just wrestling matches?
You know what? I actually agree with you. When you sent that to me on WhatsApp, I was like, actually, that is a very good point. If he debuted on Raw as Dominic Dijakovic, what was his thing? He used to have some catchphrase. See, I don't even remember. It was so forgettable. But now he's part of this angle, which is great. However, I don't like their names. T-Bar, okay. What the fuck? T-Bar?
Okay. Bro, do you want to hear a joke? And it's a very fucked up joke. It will change your perception of their names.
Okay, go.
You cannot see their names the same way again.
Okay.
So, right, bro, I googled their names for the heck of it on Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
Do you know that T-Bar, Slapjack all got sexual connotations?
Oh my god, really? This sounds
God, I think they're okay.
This sounds like HBK coming out with their names. Can you describe?
Rabak, okay.
Can you describe, or is it too like X-rated for this?
Okay, again, possible. Okay, T-Bar is how your ass cheeks look like when you're wearing a thong and you're bending over. That's a T-Bar.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. I don't want to think of Dominic Dijakovic in that way. Okay,
but that's not the worst of it. You know what Slapjack means?
What? Slapjack is Dio Madden's character, right?
No. Shane Thorne, the one wearing the Jason mask.
Okay, go.
Okay, so if you're not over 18, please close this audio right now. Okay.
Fast forward by 20 seconds. Yeah.
Slapjack is what happens when you come in your hand and you slap someone's face with it.
Bro, what the fuck is that? What are these kids doing? Why would you do that?
You Google Slapjack.
No, don't Google it. Okay, then what's the other one? I forgot their names already.
Okay, the third one is Mace. That's Dio Medin. Mace is normal lah. Mace is just like a fucking bat with barbed wire mace.
Or like you spray mace into people's eyes like a pepper spray like that. So
nothing naughty. So anyone that can pull off and gets away, without the reputation in tatters is Mace lah. So
right. No, okay.
But fucking T-Bar.
No, sexual connotation aside, because I feel like that one is only people who think that way will know. I didn't even realize. T-Bar is like
no.
Crowbar. Is there an
bro?
Actual,
Submission sorority sisters. Do you remember this?
What is that?
The submission sorority.
Oh yeah. That was in Impact, right?
No, that was the name of PCB when they first started. When
okay.
Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch first debuted, they called themselves the Submission Sorority.
Oh.
And then they changed it after 1 week because when you Google Submission Sorority, it comes out on X Hamster and Pornhub. So if you Google Tiba right now, bro,
okay.
good,
Hold on.
ain't so good.
Hold on. A T-bar is an actual construction tool. It's ribbed T-shaped bar with a flat metal plate at the bottom that are driven into the earth. So I mean, I knew it was some sort of a construction thing. I just didn't know exactly what it was. And you know, a slapjack is a weapon, right? So they're all named after weapons. But okay, put the sexual connotation aside. Those names are very throwaway, boring names that I feel like they are not going to be memorable. Okay, let me draw a comparison to The Shield. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. At least they are names and characters that you can remember. And if they ever go their separate ways, they can still be a Roman. Yeah. Can you imagine T-Bar headlining a WrestleMania? No.
That's
Roman
why.
Reigns versus T-Bar.
Okay, their names can be nicknames that would be great. Like Dio, Mace, Madden.
Yeah.
Or like fucking like Dominic, the T-Bar, the okay, fine. Then that can be like their nickname, like the cerebral assassin, the legend killer. Here's what I would have wanted it to be done, okay? Because like all the main core members of Retribution are great additions to Raw. Like we don't dispute Dijakovic's wrestling ability. Mia Yim, Mercedes Martinez are all badass women wrestlers. Like if both of them can become future women's champion, tag team champions, I think it would be great. Like I can see them as Retribution holding the tag team titles for the women. Cool. Okay. Even someone like Dio Madden, I've never really seen him wrestle that much, but he got the size, he got the look, and why I feel that they would make a great fit for Retribution. All of them got a reason to be pissed off at, like the WWE brass, right?
Sure.
Okay, if like Dio Madden, I give you a great example. Dio Madden, last time we saw him, he was on commentary. He cannot F5 by Brock Lesnar, he got taken out. He would have a gripe, right?
Yeah.
Dijakovic has been in NXT for years, putting on great matches, but was never given a fair shot. He was never like, the champion, never North American champion. He would have a great gripe, right?
Same as Shane Thorne.
Shane Thorne fucking like a tag team guy forever a tag team guy. And then his tag team member, I forgot what's his other guy's name, kena fired, right? TM61, they used to be called that, right?
Yeah.
Also have a gripe. So like all have great legitimate reasons. If they kept their names, Dijakovic, I'm Dominic Dijakovic, and this is like, this is the only way I'm gonna get your attention, and so be it, blah blah blah. That would be fucking cool. Then there is like a reason for them to go. So now they are just bunch of like, we are just expected as audiences to forget about anything that they did back in NXT and then just see them for what they are now. It doesn't work that way.
I feel like it is their mentality that whatever you did in NXT, if they want to bring it up, then they'll bring it up. If they don't want to bring it up, then they'll be like, oh, he's a completely new guy. And this is what they've done for Retribution. It almost feels like T-Bar, Slapjack, and whatever, Mace, they didn't exist. They don't exist in NXT, right? This pisses me off because now I don't get the reveal moment. I don't get the Dijakovic, Keith Lee moment. They could still fight and build great moments as Keith Lee versus T-Bar.
Okay, if they wanted to like completely make them a new character and all that, that could still work out if NXT was still a WWE network exclusive. If it wasn't given so much exposure. But now you're talking about trying to recreate and repackage a character that we see on Wednesday nights or even on the same network. They are fucking on USA channel or USA TV, right? Both days. So it's like a bit of a hard sell for us wrestling fans. Yeah, and you're right. We don't get that Dijakovic moment, that reveal. And if Keith Lee opened his mask, what if Keith Lee opened the girl's mask and it's Mia Yim? My wife is doing here. Okay, that would be a great storyline.
Let's not forget the most obvious head scratcher here. They've been causing havoc on WWE TV, right? And then they got a contract. Like, can you imagine every day I go to MediaCorp and just spray paint, smash the generators until they are, okay, fine, we give you a contract, you become an actor here. Life doesn't work like that, guys. Like, what?
That's why you do not follow life from WWE.
Oh.
You don't learn.
Okay.
You know,
Do you
take
think
lessons from them?
Do you think that's just cheap script writing? I feel like
Yeah,
that's cheap script writing. Like, oh,
cheap. No
we need
effort.
a way. Yeah, we need a way for them to be in a match. Let's just sign them to WWE contracts, which makes no sense.
Even their reveal this past Raw was super underwhelming. There wasn't any build. They just started the show. They just put out their mask, show off their smaller mask, and that's it. Like, they've been building months to this moment. Why didn't it feel like an epic moment? Why couldn't this happen in pay-per-view? You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't. That's exactly it. Like, have it happen and have it happen in a big way, costing somebody something big, not just randomly. Oh, by the way, we're here, and all of a sudden we're wearing different masks. Like, what? And then when the commentators say their names, I couldn't take them seriously. This reminds me of the factions of the 90s. Like, you remember you had, what's that, Crush? He played another character. He was in the DOA. Yeah.
DOA, yeah.
Do you remember his? Oh, no, he was Crush, but the other members of the DOA, the Harris brothers?
No.
I don't know. Like, they also had stupid names like 8-Ball, like random weapon names or something like that. Chains. It's like
nails and chains.
Nails, oh my god, nails and chains. Yeah, you don't remember these names because these are not marquee names. You'll never get over. Oh my god, I can't wait to see T-Bar versus Roman Reigns. The fuck?
But okay, if I wanna be devil's advocate to WWE, like they are just being given a chance right now. Like they don't know whether they're gonna swim and survive or they're gonna be very forgettable. Yeah. So like maybe just the WWE officials are okay. This is your into like the main show. Let me see what you all can do to prove yourself. You know, if you guys do a good job with this stupid role that we give you, like probably like fucking hell. Like imagine Mick Foley first pull off Mankind. He's thinking to himself like, this is how I'm gonna start my career. Like what the fuck I'm gonna be like. Fuck. Okay, but I get to work with The Undertaker. Okay, I'll take it. Fine, I'll be this dude. So if this lets them fight, you know, like the main event, then okay, they probably take this chance with both hands.
Correct.
Rather than Raw in NXT, right?
I don't mind seeing T-Bar versus Keith Lee because I know what they can do. That's going to be an epic set of matches. And maybe that will elevate T-Bar. But it just sucks that it's Keith Lee versus T-Bar. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. The name.
It just sounds stupid.
I mean, like, first impressions wise, I'm digging Mace. I really think Mace can be... Okay, fuck, it feels so weird to say his name, but I feel like Dio Madin can be like a Kane, you know? Like, maybe he's not that polished yet, but he got the size. It's like, have you watched wrestling recently and like been intimidated by anyone?
I mean,
like,
Braun and Dabba-Kato, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Braun, when he first came out 2017, when he was like killing Roman Reigns every week, I'm like, oh, this guy, you know? And I still believe that he has that ability as his size. But bro, like Dio Madin with that mask, that Predator hairstyle, and those eyes. Yeah. The photo that I sent you, where all of them were like in the background, like in the dark. Yeah. Look fucking scary, bro. Yeah, like, I wouldn't want to see him at night or sharing the toilet with him.
Sharing? Are you sharing the toilet with him?
Bro, I'm at the urinal bowl and then he walks in alone at the urinal bowl beside me. I will move 5 steps away.
Okay, then finally Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee against again a disqualification. Of course, you're not going to give that away just yet, right? You're going to wait for later. And this sets up the ambulance match. Oh, Randy Orton is back. Oh, I'm cleared for the ambulance match. So this is what we have. Ambulance match, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Where does this leave Keith Lee, though?
Anywhere that is out of this rivalry is good for him right now. I don't want him to be like dragged dead down in his rivalry.
And starting with Retribution, we need to see that T-Bar versus Keith Lee shit, man.
Keith Lee needs to feud against Retribution because not only because he has his like
history
NXT rival. Yeah, he got his NXT rival there. He also got his wife there.
Yeah, exactly. So when I said history, Siri popped up. It's like, what? They're gonna activate it all.
Yeah, like he got his wife there. I think there's so many storyline threads that can be told. I want him to be the main guy feuding against Retribution. Because let's face it, Retribution is a mid-card stable right now.
Yeah, exactly. And he needs to somehow rally the forces to beat up. Anyway, let's very quickly then talk about Dynamite and NXT. Takeaways from Dynamite. Again, another sort of a meh episode. Like as I said just now, Matt Hardy is just not doing it for me.
Yeah. We had the debut of Miro, right? Do you remember his first match?
In-ring debut in a tag match. He looked he looks amazing. You know,
he looks jacked, huh?
He looks super jacked.
His shoulders got shoulders, bro. Straps for days.
That's true. Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley. Because the story is not the story. The real life facts are that Lance Archer was positive for coronavirus, COVID-19. So they had to pull him. So it's nobody's fault here. But it just doesn't seem like a main event match. Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley. I'm like, what is this nonsense?
It was a throwaway match, but I got to credit AEW for one thing though. Like AEW kept Eddie Kingston as like a ace in their sleeves. Like even though that wasn't the plan, to have him probably like step in for Lance Archer, right, because of COVID. But the fact that they planted that seed where Eddie Kingston said like, "Hey, I wasn't thrown out from that Casino Battle Royal," they can use that as a storyline excuse to put him in the match. And he's not gonna win the title. So that just gives them a way to get that match out of the way.
I feel like
fault them for that.
I feel like they probably had some sort of plan with Eddie Kingston somewhere down the road. Maybe he would have interfered in this, claiming that, I'm still in the match. You know what I mean? But now that Lance Archer is out of the picture because of COVID-19, they're like, okay, they basically called an audible, which is fine. The match as well was all right. You know, I wasn't particularly... I wasn't particularly invested in the match because you know what I feel about John Moxley as champion. So.
Yeah. But here's the thing that I was curious about. Why wasn't there any sort of interference from MJF? Like, have they dropped the MJF rivalry with Moxley? Right. Are they moving on to new contenders? Because I feel that's such a waste.
Yeah.
They can stretch a bit more.
I think the only involvement with MJF was his backstage thing with Chris Jericho, right? It was just that. So
yeah, because he is like offering his services up to be part of a faction, right? Which I think is smart. I mean, as a heel, that would be a very smart thing for him to do. Have some people in his back, right? But like I said, Moxley is really in need of a legitimate challenger, and I hope Lance Archer can be the one, but we wish him a speedy recovery at least.
I mean, he's going to be out for several, like almost maybe a month. So we'll see. The one that really annoyed the shit out of me was, can you guess?
Wait. Before we say anything, right? I'm worried for Jake Roberts too. Like he's in close proximity with.
Correct, and
Lance,
he's older.
Right? Yeah. Let's hope there's nothing that's affected on that side.
Not only is he older, he's also got a history of smoking. Because have you heard him speak? My God. The stinker of the night to me. Guess.
I know. Is it Cody's reappearance?
No, I was fine with it. Like, he made his reappearance, he stroked his own ego and everything. That's great. He's coming back. But it was the match that led to that. It was Brody Lee versus Orange Cassidy. Remember, we talked about Orange Cassidy needing something big to capitalize on his the rub that he got from Chris Jericho. And then there was this, like, he was back to doing his old shtick. Yeah, and then he gets beat down by Brody Lee, which is fine, but Brody Lee is just very boring when it comes to his offense. I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me.
What's your thoughts on him trying to throw the discus close like that? Cassidy keeps sitting back now.
No.
Is it like a smart thing? Is it like a stupid thing?
It just looked more like a joke match to me, which is what Orange Cassidy needed to avoid. Now that he's got this momentum, like, this guy's legit, right? And then he just went back to doing what he does, and that annoyed the shit out of me. Obviously, he was not going to win.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, obviously, there was no way they are going to take away the title from him. I guess they're moving ahead with Brody Lee versus Cody again. I mean, Brody Lee brought out a dog collar, so they're hinting at a dog collar match at some point.
I mean, okay, like one thing to say, that Cody returning, I think it's too soon. I feel like I haven't had a chance to miss him yet. Like,
correct.
He was gone only like a month.
See, that's why I keep saying this, but he rubs me the wrong way in terms of as a performer. I feel like he's stroking his own ego a lot on the show. And I felt the same way about Triple H back in the day as well. You know, I understand that he really wants to get back into it, and he was just technically going to be away for a while to film something, I guess. I don't know.
So are you talking about every time when Triple H returns, he's always like a big production?
Yeah.
He always angkat his own bola, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
And Cody has kind of become like that. And you're right. I wish maybe if he was away for 2 months, 3 months, when he came back, I'll be like, holy shit, okay, that's cool. But when he showed up, I was like, I literally rolled my and then his stupid music hit. Wrestling has more than one royal. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, but I did like his look when he's back. Like
sure.
For some reason, the black hair made him look more evil.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that was on purpose. Yeah, the all black look, like he looked like some sort of evil villain from some anime. Like, okay, cool. You know what's the only thing that's missing?
What?
He wear a red rose on his chest, like a lapel like that.
Oh, right, okay.
And throw the rose. Like, there's like all those villains like that one, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, he's returning, but he's gonna be the face in the feud. So, I don't know. Like I said, nah.
Okay, you know what the funniest moment of the show was?
What?
Got to give the people what they want! And then JR no-sells the shit out of it. Did you hear that response? Like, okay.
He just... What did he say?
I can't remember what he said. He deadpanned something like, oh yeah, you gotta. Like, he was totally unimpressed with the whole friends hugging shit after FTR. Because they were making fun of FTR because FTR hug each other, right? They're like, this is how it's done. They hug, they do the zoom out. And then, of course, Excalibur in his most marky mark voice is all like, give the people what they want. And JR was like, yeah, sure. Like, fuck off. I was low-key laughing my ass off.
Come on, bro. You gotta appreciate.
Yeah.
You gotta appreciate grumpy JR. Like, I don't give a shit, JR.
Like, he literally doesn't give a fuck, right? And I actually thought that was the funniest thing ever because that's just exactly what you say, grumpy JR. He's like, I've seen too much of this shit and this is not what I like, so okay, sure, whatever.
Okay, to be fair, from calling the main event of WrestleMania featuring The Rock and Stone Cold to calling someone hugging each other, I mean, you know, I get it. Like, this is beneath him. Actually, a lot of AEW is beneath him. Like, and I feel like, you know, there are times in AEW where JR is like really like old JR, like with full of vigor and passion, right?
Yeah.
I remember like only 2 clear moments. To me, like the first time when Jon Moxley returned and that crazy ass pop that he had and he beat up Kenny Omega, that was like to me an iconic moment of AEW.
Yes.
And like JR will call it if it's good, and I appreciate that about him. If it sucks, he won't say it sucks, but he will show it in other ways, and you as a fan can like, I get it, JR. Like,
you're right, JR. That was, I don't know, like a part of me is like, bro, you should try to sell the product no matter what. But maybe that's what Excalibur is there for, you know, and it appeals. Maybe it appeals to the older wrestling fans like us who are like, I feel you, JR. That was lame as shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Give the people what they want.
I was watching, like, you know, after the Stone Cold podcast with JR, the King, right?
The King, yeah.
And like, you know, getting more appreciation of him as a wrestler and his history. And I was on YouTube. I went like a YouTube rabbit hole where I was like YouTubing all like the greatest JR and King calls. And I love how, because in that podcast he specifically mentioned, because JR is so passionate and he gets really, really low and guttural, the way King compliments it is by going super high and shrill.
Yeah, like he screams.
Yeah. So like, okay, if you go back and you watch the This Is Your Life from the Rock and Mankind, right? The entire segment. And then, okay, why I'm laughing so much is because if you really listen back, right, JR no sells the entire segment. He was fucking not interested. Like, his like reaction is like, you know, when he gets very like uninterested, he will be very low, like that kind, right?
Grumpy lah,
And then so but I the one call that I remember laughing my ass off was because the guy introduced King. No, I forgot. Mankind introduced Rock's home economics teacher.
Right.
The one that taught him cooking, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, this is the home economics teacher, and then he literally snorted like JR like, Yeah, right. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you know what King said?
What did
For
King
some
say?
reason, the way he delivered it was so funny. He like, "Oh man, The Rock took home man." Like he oversells the fact that The Rock took home man. And then King is Jay was like, "Yeah, right." I mean, it's so funny.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that was the combination of our childhoods? Like,
yeah, it will never be the same. It's irreplaceable, man.
It really is. Yeah. Okay. Very, very quickly, let's wrap up Dynamite. So yeah, that was pretty much it. In terms of what it was. Oh, go to Botch Club's Instagram page to see a whole bunch of botches by FTR's new manager, Tully Blanchard. I'm sorry, he screwed up that whole promo. And Tony Schiavone was like had to correct him and shit. I like the old school shit that they're bringing back, but I don't know why they need Tully Blanchard. I mean, FTR can talk on the mic 1,000 times better themselves.
I thought Tully was a great promo man in his previous feud, the one that he had with Cody and Shawn Spears. But I don't know, maybe he's not interested. Maybe you can tell when a performer is not invested, I guess. Yeah. Maybe he's not. Yeah.
Maybe, and like I said, they don't need Tully. They are good enough as it is on their own. We've seen them up close and personal. We even had an interaction with them in real life when WWE came to town. But, that's in the past. Okay, I know you need to Zao very soon, so we need to jump to Clash of Champions right now. NXT.
Yeah, nothing big happened in NXT. I was just about to ask.
Kyle O'Reilly is now the #1 contender, so he will face off against Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver.
Wow!
So Kyle O'Reilly is getting his shine. Yeah. Okay,
how
Clash
did you
of
get
Champions.
That title opportunity?
How
did you get that title opportunity?
On NXT, it was... Oh, you obviously didn't watch that. The Gauntlet Eliminator. So it's like a Royal Rumble match where people come in at timed intervals, but you have to get pinned. So it's the Gauntlet Eliminator.
Interesting.
Yeah. They are coming out with new concepts on NXT just to try it out to see whether this works or not. I thought it worked. It was cool. They, highlighted like Kushida. Who else? Timothy Thatcher, Bronson Reed, and Cameron Grimes. And I didn't expect Kyle O'Reilly to get, the nod, but there you go.
It's a nice surprise, Nice surprise.
It is.
Shout out to Gerald from Rebel Man. He was the one that posted it that I saw. I was like, whoa, that's a very interesting matchup.
Yeah.
And Kyle O'Reilly, BJJ guy, I will be rooting for him.
I think technically as a match, it's going to be great. It's just, okay, where does the story go? Why, how are they going to make it?
And he hasn't had a chance to stand on his own as like a singles guy. I can't remember a promo from Kyle O'Reilly that I remembered. So it will be interesting how they're going to sell that feud.
Correct. Okay, on to Clash of Champions. It's the preview. Okay, so we got, let's talk about the tag teams. Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Gaza. Why do we care? We've done this before. Now it's minus Zelina Vega. So the story could be that Zelina Vega was their crutch this whole time.
What if they have like an awesome 15-minute kick-ass back and forth match?
I think they can. They will have an awesome kick-ass back and forth match. I'm just afraid this is going to be on the pre-show. Actually, no. You know what's going to be on the pre-show? The SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Cesaro and Nakamura versus Lucha House Party. Like, who gives a crap about that?
Why aren't they unifying the titles, man? I thought like Street Profits versus Nakamura and Cesaro was really like a great feud. Like they could just have that match and eliminate all the rest.
Bro, that's the quarterly cross-branded invitational. Some shit that they pull out of their ass to justify.
Shout out to Guru from our last episode.
Yeah.
He also knows how absurd it is, how ridiculous it is.
Okay, there is a minor storyline building on SmackDown. I noticed they've been playing up. I can't remember which member of Lucha House Party is trying to be too bossy now. So they could be splitting
Kalisto?
So he's the one
Kalisto.
trying to tell people what to do, and then it's cost them matches. So I feel like there's some sort of a breakup happening sooner or later. Maybe Kalisto is going solo.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But like I said, that match feels more like a throwaway. Cesaro and Nakamura are definitely going to win, and maybe Lucha House Party break up.
Yeah, Lucha House Party hasn't done much. Like the best performance they had was in Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and
they didn't capitalize on it.
No, that was long ass time ago.
Yeah, so like at the end of the day, I feel like we as fans know what we want. No one wants Lucha House Party. Lucha.
Oh, and that's why maybe a turn from one of the Lucha House Party makes sense. So they will get hopefully a solo run. Or maybe they can be the boyfriend that Rey Mysterio pushes onto Aaliyah. Anyway.
Queue up all the Latin wrestlers.
Yeah. Let's go back to Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Gaza. Is it too soon to jump the titles over to Andrade and Angel Gaza?
I would say it's just in time because if not, it's be very boring. Street Profits has held the title almost a year.
Yeah. And
Angel Garza and all that. Yeah.
We've seen this match. Haven't we seen this match before? I feel like it's a retread again. Now with this time this time no Zelina Vega.
Thousands of times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I said, I would like to see Andrade and Angel Gaza win. And then the whole storyline can be like, oh, Zelina Vega was just a distraction all this time and they're actually very good together. You know, that could be it. Or maybe Bianca Belair can factor in somehow. I don't know. Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews. Nobody wants to see Apollo Crews win here. I'm sorry, but the Hurt Business is going to hurt Apollo Crews' chances.
Yeah, Hurt Business got too much momentum. Lashley is like a badass.
Yeah.
I want that Lashley-Lesnar match sooner or later. So keep Lashley strong.
Or maybe this could be a schmoz, or they could cost Bobby Lashley. I'm talking about Retribution because now they have that whole feud going, right? So they come out and cost Bobby Lashley. So Apollo Crews can go on and feud with other people while Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business feud with Retribution. Because technically they don't need the titles anymore because they have a hot feud.
I would say Retribution, my prediction is Retribution is going to cause a lot of chaos throughout the night and Night of Champions, and they specifically target Hurt Business matches. I wouldn't mind that.
Well, then again, there's only one Hurt Business match, which is Bobby Lashley's match. So
yeah. So in a sense, I want this. If there's a way for them to get out of this, it should be because of Retribution.
And that's the other gripe. So now you've had Retribution's first match. It was on a Raw.
It was in a schmoz.
Yeah, and so technically, I guess maybe they still don't have their match. And because Clash of Champions, every match has to be a championship match. So they can't have a match here, right? So anyway.
That's true.
Let's see. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus the Riot Squad. They've been slowly pushing this up, but I feel like Nia and Shayna, they are just at the start of their run as unwilling partners. So they're retaining.
And I kind of like them because they are low-key quite funny.
They are. That's the whole point. I think they're pulling off this vibe of, I actually don't like her, she don't like me, but somehow they get it done, right? So
yeah.
But like we've said on previous shows too, this formula has been done to death 1,000,001 times. It's just how they pull it off.
This is one of the formulas that done to death, but always works out in the right ingredients. So far the last 3 or 4 unlikely pairings has always done well. So I know they're another one.
Correct. This one low-key could be the match of the night. Actually, I'm going to call it the match of the night. AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy versus Sami Zayn in a ladder match.
Yeah, come on, ladder match. Jeff Hardy.
Wait, hold on. Are they going to hang 2 IC titles? Because there are 2 now, right? Like Sami Zayn has one.
Yeah, why not? That would be quite dope. Throwback for us long-time fans to WrestleMania 10.
Yeah.
I would love it.
It was Razor Shawn, right? That one?
Razor Shawn, yes.
Yeah.
Who's your thoughts on winning this though?
Ooh, I don't know. I think just to piss everybody off, it has to be Sami Zayn. Then he can be like, yeah, and he just came back too.
That as well.
So it's like, I told you all along. See, I was a champion, and now you validate the heel.
But I got one question though. Why does Sami Zayn look like a Chilean dictator?
Because
he look like fucking Che Guevara or some shit like that, right? You look like a fucking freedom fighter right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just his aesthetic. I'll be honest with you. I feel like Jeff Hardy his character is stone cold. I mean, and I'm not talking about, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He's a bit like boring right now.
Like what happened? They were going forward with him versus Sheamus, and then his whole drinking addiction thing, and then now it's sort of have they abandoned it?
One thing that they are talking on the dirt sheets that I would really like for it to happen is he has a feud with Bray Wyatt, but he becomes Willow.
Yeah. But I mean,
some supernatural ass feud. Yeah.
While maybe he needs to leave this feud, the IC title feud, to go there, so he will lose it here, no? I mean,
makes sense.
Yeah.
And AJ is just there to make the match look great, and then he will go back to his Twitch streaming lah. Because now he like fuck care already.
Yeah. Styles Clash on Twitch, by the way.
Okay, how is his gaming? He's quite a good gamer.
I actually, to be honest, I feel like he does more IRL streams, as in he just sits there and then talks to people and answers questions.
Oh, is it like Chris Jericho also? Like?
Yeah, which is what Saraya does as well. Only she does it with the tiniest of tops.
What does IRL stand for?
In real life, Alamo. In real life.
Okay, because I was thinking like legitimately it's like a type of stream. Like so it's just him just talking and
yeah. So basically any stream that's not game related, you're just sitting in front of a camera talking, got people at the beach talking, got people go to the airport talking, those are IRL streams.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's us lah, basically.
No, there's actually a podcast/talk show category also. So if we were to be on Twitch, we would fall under the podcast/talk show category. By the way, follow me on Twitch, Mr. Young98, to catch me play games. All right, cheap plug. How many times I cheap plug already? Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Bayley, Nikki Cross, SmackDown Women's Championship.
I wouldn't be surprised that Sasha Banks cost Bayley the title, Nikki Cross wins, and then Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss have their own feud. Sasha Banks and Bayley goes to Hell in a Cell and destroy each other.
Oh, yes. There you go. We don't even need to say anymore. You've laid it out perfectly.
Yeah, because I feel like their feud is more than the title. Like I think the title would detract them away from the main crux of the feud.
Yeah. And if anything, just give Nikki Cross the shine. She definitely deserves it. And then, to be fair, Nikki also needs the title. Bayley does not. She's cemented herself as top heel, woman's heel already.
Nikki hasn't won a title, since being on the main roster, so it's way overdue. And I think she will play a great babyface in peril to Alexa Bliss' crazy character. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
The Findes.
Asuka versus Zelina Vega. I think we've talked about it already. So,
yes, Asuka versus Zelina Vega. It will be a 2-second squash.
No, they have to build Zelina a bit because right now she's played the manager role for a long time. We haven't really seen her shine. So I feel like now's her time. They need to put on a good match. Make Zelina credible, but not let her win.
Me as like a fan, I just hope like for some crazy ass reason Mickie James interferes, but they won't go there. They won't go down that road, unfortunately. But I want my Mickie James.
Yeah, I feel like they don't actually have any plans for Mickie James. She's just there to put people over. Yeah, I know it sucks. But actually, you also have to wonder, right? Like, Zelina Vega loses. Does Asuka move on, or do they continue this feud to build Zelina Vega's name?
Unless they're pushing Bianca Belair, and nah.
No. Oh. By the way, let's go back to Raw. Did you see her promo?
I did. I love it.
Lifting heavy shit, and then like the guy is there trying to live, but he cannot live, but she can live. That's it reminds me of the old Mr. Perfect vignettes where he's just doing shit that makes him look good and showing off.
Hey, Bianca Belair, from what I was it the commentator who said it, like she used to be a CrossFit athlete or something like that.
Yeah.
It shows, man, like dope, like her pull-ups are.
Yeah. Legit, like she can do pull-ups better than a lot of the guys I know. So
right, like the form was on point, like chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. When is she going to show up and show out? When?
I don't know.
Try to repackage her over and over again. Before we do anything too, there is a return on NXT. I forgot to mention this that I just saw because I watched NXT today, right? I don't know if you saw this promo. They did like night vision green color one. So it's like a third person night vision goggle thing where it's like following this guy in the third person mode, like when you play games. And then he smashes this glass case and takes the NXT title. And they say like returning October the 4th, which is, I believe, NXT TakeOver.
Next. Yeah.
Okay. NXT TakeOver 31, October 4th. So somebody is making a return. They didn't say a debut, they said return. So.
Who? Is it Cross? Can't be Cross, right?
That's too soon. Early. And the aesthetic is like very like Call of Duty, like green color, night vision goggles. It felt almost a bit Retribution-ish. So maybe Retribution is coming back to take over. Okay. I don't know.
But off the top of your head, there's no one on the injured list that's a big name yet.
Yeah,
other than Cross, right?
Yeah. So it can't be Cross. It makes no sense. The aesthetic doesn't fit. So I don't know who it is. But
intriguing.
The funny thing is they smashed a glass case to take the NXT title. I think it was the NXT title, but the NXT champion is Finn Balor. So why does he have his title in the glass case?
So somebody with some beef with Balor lah.
Or maybe an ex-champion.
Yeah, like an ex-champion. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember who is
Bo Dallas.
Fuck off.
Bo Lee. What has he been doing? If you think about it.
Then like that, Adrian Neville lah, return.
Oh yeah, but Pac is AEW, so Pac.
Okay, I really do not know. Like there's nothing's coming to my head. So
I'm sure there's something about it on the dirt sheets.
I will legit be shocked lah. Okay.
Yeah, and it cannot be. Oh, by the way, can I also mention that Tommaso Ciampa? You know he's wearing a mask now when he comes out. He freaking looks like.
I don't know.
He wears a mask now. He looks like the lost member of Retribution, the one that got left on NXT.
What if the main guy is Ciampa? Ciampa, if it's a leader, would be quite dope. Though.
Yeah, and he was actually controlling them from NXT all this time, huh?
He is the hacker.
Yeah. Wow, fuck the hacker, lah. No, that whole storyline died already. They dropped it.
No. I still want the hacker to happen. Okay, but anyway, let's hope it'll be an interesting reveal. Yeah.
2 more matches to talk about. First of all, and I don't know which one's gonna be the main event. Okay, I've a feeling that Drew and Randy should be the main event. They're just gonna go all out ambulance match. So let's talk about Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso first. I mean, we've talked about it to death already. It's either a brutal beat down, like beat Jey until he bloody. This is the one time they should use blood, I feel.
Yep. It's either gonna be a mauling like of epic proportions, or my personal favorite, yes, the finger poke of doom.
And then we get
Usos turn heel.
The bloodline. We get the bloodline.
You get the blood. I love the nickname really, bro. The bloodline.
And it would piss off everybody because we've lived through we've heard of the finger poke of doom before. You know, we know it's like, it's super cheese.
But it hasn't been done in WWE.
Yeah.
Technically.
Exactly. So
it would be a great throwback, but it will be a fresh throwback.
Yes. And it would piss so many people off, which is what they want to do.
Love it.
Yes.
Yeah. And have you guys heard the rumors? And
What?
This is the thing that I'm excited about. There is a high chance, because Roman Reigns said it on his on camera, that he's going to be debuting new music and new look on Clash of Champions itself.
All right. So it's shirtless, like he's going shirtless.
I think he's going to go the underwear look, man.
Huh? His old look, because he used to be.
He might be. Yeah, the NXT. He could be. I don't know, but because I feel like the way they are saying it, the reason it's getting so jacked is because he's going to be shirtless on screen more.
Hey, what is this fashion talk on Kick to the Guy?
I do not know. I do not know. But I'm happy that he's gonna move away from his Shield aesthetic.
And
let's face it, like it's 6 years too late, really lah.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair too, like now he's the most compelling he's been in a long time, where he's embraced this whole and that promo that they did was amazing with Paul Heyman voicing it, and then they show pictures of Roman Reigns, like this is his blood
growing up.
This is that promo. I want to go and rewatch it again because that gave me goosebumps. Like this is owed to him.
That was on SmackDown, right? Was it on SmackDown?
I think it was. Yeah, it was SmackDown. They referenced The Rock, basically his entire bloodline, lah. Rikishi, Umaga.
Nice. I love it. I love it when there's like years and years of backstory. It's like if you're like a comic book fan, you can appreciate it. It's like build up the history of this guy.
I mean, every fandom will have their nerds, and I guess we are the nerds of this fandom, which is WWE. And when you tie things together like this, we appreciate it because we get it. Yes, we know you're doing fan service and we like it. So yes,
that's why.
Either way, the finger poke of doom or a complete mauling works. It's just don't give us a competitive match like AEW. You know what I mean? Like Jey almost won. Like no, this shouldn't be a competitive match. This should be utter.
They should serve a storyline purpose, and
correct.
This is the one few times that I will I want it to be a squash or I want it to be a schmoss. Like fuck it, just make it as like
exactly. This is the one time we're like we don't want to see a fucking 20-minute classic. Nobody needs back and forth here. We just want, like you said, destruction or shenanigans.
Yeah. It'll be awesome, man. And like I said. You're right. Roman Reigns is so compelling right now. Like I want to see every time Roman Reigns is on my screen. And how crazy is that?
Okay, can you imagine if they did the finger poke of doom as the very last thing on Clash? If this is the main event. Actually, now that I think about it, it could be you go off air with everybody pissed off.
Yeah.
That would be the way.
Why not? Yeah, why not? Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't mind putting Drew below.
Yeah. And actually, you know what that does too? It makes people angry enough to immediately after they'll go online and shit all over it, right? And that gives them the mentions, the talk, the social media buzz that they want.
So are you saying that Kick to the Gut should go live on Monday morning right after?
Sure, why not if we can? We'll be like, oh.
Yeah,
Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton. It seems like this has gone on quite a while. I don't know.
I low-key want Randy Orton to win.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because I feel like this will be a great excuse with the stipulation to say that Randy beat him but didn't pin him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you know how like last time, the previous match, they didn't have any finishes that was done on them?
Yeah.
This will be like a finisher spam.
RKO. Claymore.
Like if Drew McIntyre win, it'll probably be like a Claymore to Randy and Randy will fly into the ambulance.
Yeah.
If Randy Orton win, I do not know how, but it's going to be an RKO leading up to it.
Well, here's the thing. Because it's an ambulance match where you have to physically put your opponent into the ambulance, right? You technically could do 1,000,001 finishes all around ringside in the ring. But then because you have to drag them there, they they wake up or they, fight back. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Can I say something as well?
Sure.
Have you seen Randy Orton's new line, his apparel line?
A slither.
The slither. Oh, bro.
Looks cool.
Looks dope, bro.
Hella dope.
It's like Randy Orton is manifested in clothing form.
You are going to buy a slither t-shirt?
Yeah, I would definitely love to buy him. I'm really looking at the price. It's like 35 or 45 USD.
All of these WWE guys and gals with their side hustles, huh?
Yeah. And like I love it, man. I love because I always thought Randy has like a very nice like gym aesthetic to his look.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for him to have a cool ass shirt. Because like, can you imagine John Cena putting out a shirt? Like John Cena's shirt would probably be like
pink,
hustle, loyalty, respect.
No, his would be bright green, bright yellow.
Red, yeah.
But
Randy will be appeal to all the cool older crowd,
Yeah, like want to be a little bit more low key, but also,
Yeah, like perfect gym aesthetic. I'm gonna buy it as soon as I can.
I don't think it's gym wear though. I think it's just fashion.
Clothing wear. But I think can lah. I think can. Oh, the girlfriend has message. Okay.
Okay, so let's wrap things up. How on a scale of 1 to 10 excited are you for Clash of Champions? Will you be watching it live?
I will be watching it live. I can't say whether I'm more excited for it than like Payback or SummerSlam. But some of the results I really, really want to know. Like some of them very hard to predict. And that's what makes it exciting. Like even Drew and Randy, I can't predict for sure.
Yeah.
I want Randy to win, but I can't predict. And like I said, we all want to see what happened with Jey and Roman, right? Will it go full on murder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like the US title, not interested. The tag team championships, not interested. Triple threat for the IC title, definitely going to be, to me, like match of the night, I feel. The Bayley, Nikki Cross, where does Sasha Banks come into play? And of course, the main event.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. So I would give this like a 7.5 in terms of hype. 8 almost.
Yeah. And in this current climate of WWE, what we fans want is just for us to want to be invested in the pay-per-views, man. Like, no more throwaway pay-per-views. Like, you do it for the sake of it. So even like SummerSlam Payback, I felt I enjoyed it because there was a thread running to like SummerSlam was like part 1, Payback was part 2. It felt like the whole thing together. It was interesting.
Yeah.
So okay, why not?
Yeah, and moving ahead too with Hell in a Cell, that's where you have your more personal feud. So, like you said, Sasha, Bayley, we can move on with the Fiend and whoever, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross. Randy with
you can
whoever.
do Randy, Drew, we'll see, we shall see. And the cool thing is, right, if the so-called long-term storyline of Retribution really comes to fruition, they're going to probably have some sort of blow-off feud at Survivor Series. So
which makes
expect
sense.
Retribution to play a huge part at Hell in a Cell. So like this next 2-3 months should be exciting if they can carry the momentum of Retribution and not make them suck not make them dead on arrival.
To be honest, I don't care about Retribution anymore. All I care about is the telenovela that we wrote today. I want to see that shit happen. Mysterio family, Buddy Murphy, Humberto Carrillo. This shit needs to happen. All right, that does it for us here today on Kick to the Gut. Hey, go check out Kick Out, okay? The fitness workout designed for pro wrestling fans. Go to grapplemax.punchpass.com. Easy for me to say, I'll say it again. grapplemax.punchpass.com. Use the promo code KT100. Get 20% off a single session if you are a first-time GrappleMax customer. Get your exercise on in a fun pro wrestling themed way. 100% no contact, but 100% fun. Okay.
Why not? Why not? Let's go, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go train after this.
That's right. Okay, that being said, we'll see you soon. As always, you want to come chat with us, slide into our DMs at Kick to the Gut. Next week, we have a special guest, don't we?
We might have. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Watch this space. Watch our Instagram. We'll keep you updated. And of course, have fun watching Clash of Champions. It's coming up on Monday morning.
Yeah.
As always, it's Mr.
That's gonna be
Young.
us.
Yes.
And it's far in the building, guys. Take care.